Every kid has thought to themselves, I have the worst parents in the world. But if you look at these parents, you'll quickly realize that you don't have it so bad after all. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst parents in the world. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we've gathered the most neglecting, overly strict, or simply stupidest parents out there. Warning, some of these stories will make you laugh while others are pretty sad to hear. In other words, these stories are definitely not for sensitive souls. Number 10. The Human Barbie.
I'm more plastic than Barbie and I love it.
Sarah Burge, nicknamed the Human Barbie, is a British woman who's addicted to plastic surgery. She offered her 7-year-old daughter $10,000 for breast implants. But don't worry, the surgery has not yet been performed, since you need to be at least 16 years old in England to go under the knife. This was simply a gift for the future, should her daughter grow up with undersized breasts. Her daughter also received a gift card for liposuction, but she says she is very thankful for receiving these strange gifts. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
I try to be really polite to all my guests. I just think you're dreadful, and I honestly don't want to talk to you anymore, so I'm just gonna stop.
Number 9. Too young for Botox.
Does it look better after you get Botox?
Yeah, it looks way better.
Beauty pageants for young girls in the USA raise many eyebrows. Although these competitions seem harmless, some mothers will do anything to make sure their child wins. Such is the case for Carrie Campbell, who injects Botox into her 8-year-old daughter, Brittany. She states that her daughter is already starting to have wrinkles, and Botox is the only way to make sure she continues to compete. According to her, the procedure is normal, and all other moms do it too. We sure hope she's wrong. Number 8. From Russia with Love.
There is a procedure to give up a child. It's not that easy. It's not a pet that you can take and then give away.
In 2010, Russia threatened to suspend all adoption requests from the United States. Why? Because of a mom from Tennessee who didn't understand that a 7-year-old child doesn't come with a return policy. Artyom Savelyev was adopted by an American woman named Tori Hansen. Unable to control her son's behavior, she sent him off on a plane with a one-way ticket to Moscow. Despite the diplomatic incident, it was probably a good thing for the child, who then accused his adoptive mother of being mean to him and pulling his hair on several occasions. One thing's for sure, these two will not miss each other. Number 7. A very early driving lesson. A dad teaching his son how to drive is a classic bonding activity, just as long as they're of age, of course. But Billy Joe Madden, a father from Louisiana, obviously didn't know the traffic laws. Too drunk to drive, he made his 8-year-old son drive for him. The poor child was even forced to get on the highway, and to make matters even worse, his 4-year-old brother was sitting in the back seat without a seatbelt on. Thankfully, they were stopped by the cops before they had a chance of getting into an accident. Number 6. Selling your daughter for a car. Unable to make their car payments, James and Sandra Davis did the unthinkable. Originally from the state of Georgia, these parents convinced their 14-year-old daughter to have sex with the salesman to cover the monthly costs of $281. Thankfully, they were quickly discovered by police and arrested. Robert Bearden, the salesman, got 10 years in prison for assaulting a minor. These pimp parents, on the other hand, got several years of imprisonment and are not allowed to contact their child for at least 20 years. They definitely deserve that. Number 5. The Kentucky Ogre. Everyone knows about the child-eating ogre tales and their victims' sad destinies. This is the case for Larry Long, a man accused of voluntarily placing his 5-month-old baby in the oven. Brandy Hatton, the baby's mother, was awakened by her son's screams, who had spent the night in the oven. Thankfully, the heat was turned off. To justify his behavior, Larry Long admitted his actions were inebriated by the influence of alcohol and marijuana. This story was more than enough to remove custody of the child from these negligent parents. Number 4. Pimp Parent, Take 2.
Looking on turning over every rock to make sure that they have all the information they need.
If you thought selling your daughter for car payments was the worst offense ever, think again. In 2011, an American woman tried selling her 13-year-old daughter's virginity for $10,000. She even sent nude pictures of her child to 2 men in hopes of starting a bidding war. Thankfully, her spouse caught her sending the text messages to the potential buyers. He immediately contacted the police, saving his child from a traumatic event and an unscrupulous mother. Number 3. Smoking Baby. You remember that viral video from 2010? Ardi Rizal made international headlines at only 2 years old. Back then, this Indonesian baby smoked 40 cigarettes a day. It all began when his parents, who were fed up of hearing him cry, had the dumb idea of giving him cigarettes. The child was quickly addicted and became the youngest chain smoker in the world. Thankfully, his parents reversed their actions and forced him to quit smoking. Today, Artie Rizal is 9 years old. He no longer smokes and is concentrating on school. Number 2. A virtual baby. Parents should never favor one child over the other, especially when one of them is virtual. A Korean couple was arrested in 2010 for aggravated negligence after the tragic death of their 3-month-old baby. The couple spent their days in an internet cafe, raising a virtual child in a video game called Prius Online. During that time, their real daughter was left at home alone, barely fed. And then, the worst outcome possible. After a 12-hour video game marathon, they made the horrifying discovery that their baby had died from malnutrition. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions. Number 1. 13 tortured children.
Louise says she wanted a 14th, and all the children have a name that begins with J.
Home should be a place where kids feel safe. Unfortunately, this was not the case for the 13 Turpin children, who allegedly suffered physical and psychological abuse at the hands of their parents for years, before the case finally came to light in 2018. According to authorities, David and Louise Turpin kept their children locked up in the house, and went so far as to shackle some of the kids to their beds. Furthermore, the victims were so malnourished that when police met the 17-year-old girl who had managed to escape, they mistook her for a 10-year-old. While both parents have pleaded not guilty, it's clear they weren't giving the kids the care they deserved.
One of the children at age 12 is the weight of an average 7-year-old. The 29-year-old female victim weighs 82 pounds.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.